And today's class is kind of a fun little balance flow. I'm playing with different ideas of balance, different concepts of balance. Typically the way that I teach is it's kind of progressive. So you always have the option to kind of go back to the thing that was similar in the flow before. So each time it'll get a little bit more challenging. But as you know, balance, we can create that sense of what works for our bodies, what works for us. So with that, we're going to start lying on our backs. You can start either in Shavasana with legs extended long, or if you prefer, if you are able to feel your breath a little bit more, maybe knees bent, feet wide, and allowing your knees to rest together. Can you hear me over there? Okay. So we're lying on our backs. And bring one hand to your belly, one hand to your chest. Just allow your awareness to shift from the morning. So whatever brought you here this morning, the events prior to arriving on your mat. Allow your awareness to shift to the here and now. So sensing the body, the connection of the back of your body to the earth, the front and sides of your body, feeling the air. Noticing any tension or gripping you feel throughout your body. And take a deep breath in. Open mouth, exhale, let the breath go, let the tension go. 2 more times. Inhale, fill up everything. Open mouth, exhale. Feel that sense of release, that sense of arriving. 1 more time, inhale. Open mouth, exhale. Just allow your breath to return to normal. And starting to notice if you can feel your breath more under one of your hands. Feeling the rise and fall with the inhalation and exhalations. And see if you can bring a sense of balance to being breathed by feeling, sensing if you can breathe evenly underneath both of your hands. Another sense of balance. Can you balance out the length of your inhalation to your exhalation? So both being about the same length. If it helps to count, you can do that. And everybody's breath is unique. So I'll let you create your own rhythm. Maybe focusing on the length of your exhalation first and then matching your inhalation to the exhalation. As your mind starts to arrive into this space, just notice how this shows up in your mind. And bring your hands down beside your body. If you have your legs straight, bend your knees. Heels in line with your sit bones, knees above your heels. As you inhale, press your tailbone towards the floor and arch your lower back, so lifting it off the floor. And as you exhale, point your tailbone towards the sky as you push your lower belly towards your spine, low back towards the floor. So pelvic tilts, just moving between the arching of the back, tailbone pressing down as you inhale. And as you exhale, drawing navel towards the spine, almost as if it's scooping up towards your ribs. And tailbone slightly lifts away from the floor. Just notice, is it easier to do one rather than the other? In other words, is one more exaggerated than the other? And start to minimize the rock. Each time going a little bit less into that arch, a little less into that round, until you find a sense of evenness. The weight is balanced on the pelvis, the sacrum sinking towards the floor. Sacrum is that triangular bone at the base of your spine. And then bring your thumbs to the bottom of your rib cage and your fingertips to your hip points and kind of draw them towards each other. Engage the muscles, the abdominal muscles, to create that sense of the ribs drawing down and in and the hip points drawing up. And then bend your knees above your hips and bring your shins parallel to the floor. Notice if your ribs or your hip points started to flare open and draw them back in and down towards each other. Bring your hands to your thighs beneath your knees and start to press your knees into your hands as you push your hands into your knees. Relax your jaw, relax your tongue, relax your throat. Just finding this awareness of core support. Our center of gravity, our center of balance. As you inhale, reach your right arm towards your ears, touch your right toe towards the ground. Keep pushing left hand and knee together. As you exhale, draw right knee and hand back together. As you inhale, extend left shoulder or arm beside the ear, toe to the ground, and bring it back together. And just start to move from left to right. Continuing to push the hand and knee that are still together towards each other to help to bring that awareness into your core. And notice as your hip, as your pelvis, rocking side to side or forward and back. And can you minimize that by drawing the hip points in towards your navel and up towards your ribs? And notice is your rib cage flaring as you extend one arm and leg. And can you minimize that through finding engagement on the front of your core? Couple more times on each side. Also noticing, relaxing the jaw, the tongue, the throat, sometimes our cheat for core. And continuing to breathe. Last time. Release the feet to the floor, mat distance apart, arms wide, T to the body, and windshield wiper your knees side to side. Bring the hands back down beside the hips. Find the front of your core, that neutral pelvis. Bring your knees above your hips again, shins parallel to the floor. And then extend your legs long. Curl your toes towards your shins. Reach your arms up, palms facing towards the sky. Push towards the sky. As you exhale, bend your knees. Keep your feet together and touch your elbows or bring them towards your elbows. Inhale, reach legs long. Exhale, bend knees, try to touch your elbows. Inhale, we're gonna add on this time as you exhale, lift your head and chest and squeeze your knees with your elbows. Inhale, head down, feet up. Exhale, crunch. So keep this going. Start to bring awareness to your belly, exhaling, drawing navel towards the spine, scooping it up towards your diaphragm, your ribs. Taking your hip points and your ribs towards each other each time you crunch. And next time you crunch, hold. Can you bring your knees closer to your shoulders, the outside of your shoulders, pushing hands forward and up. Relax jaw, relax tongue, scoop the lower belly, exhale, lift a little higher. Release. Drop the feet to the mat, mat distance apart, arms wide, T to the body, and windshield wiper, knees side to side. Bring your hands behind your knees, start to rock forward and back. And next time, roll all the way up. Come to hands and knees to tabletop. First fingers parallel, pointing towards the top of your mat, knees underneath your hips. Push the floor away with your hands and feet. And as if you're rounding your upper back, inhale, lift your head, lift your tailbone, so cow pose. Press hands and feet into the floor, and as you exhale, round into cat pose. Using your own rhythm of your breath, start to move between cat and cow, keeping that awareness of hands and feet pressing into the floor. And also scooping the lower belly up towards the ribs each time you exhale to get that crunch. Next time you exhale, stay in the cat pose. Drop your head, look towards your heart. Push hands and feet down. Take 3 more deep breaths, each time scooping the lower belly a little bit more. Finding more of that curve, that flexion of the spine. Last breath. Come back to a neutral spine. Tuck your toes under. Lift your knees off the floor, hover. Keep your knees hovering and press your hips back towards your heels, as if you were gonna go into child's pose, but don't. So keep the knees hovering off the floor. Lift the hips, but keep the belly pressing towards your thighs, so the knees are still really bent. Press down with your hands and push forward. Press down through the balls of your feet and push back. Start to scoop your lower belly, your rib cage off your thighs. Scoop your hip points off your thighs, so creating that rounding of your spine here. And then as you exhale, straighten the legs, coming into downward facing dog, lowering the heels towards the floor as you can. Take 3 deep breaths. Each exhalation, drawing navel towards the spine and taking the navel up towards the rib cage. So we start to find this connection between the engagement of our core and the strength, our inner strength, as well as our physical strength. Slowly walk your hands to the back of your mat, coming into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to the shins. Look towards the front of your mat, reach your chest forward, shoulders down your back. As you exhale, scoop your lower belly and round into a forward fold. Inhale, reach up, stretch up, arms come over your head, gaze up. Exhale, hands to heart. Feet can either be hip distance apart or toes touch. Bend your knees, sit back, reach your fingertips behind your heels. So coming into Utkatasana, chair. Start with your belly resting on your thighs, so go that deep. Gaze forward towards the front of your mat. Start to put your ribs off your thigh, hip points off your thighs. Inhale, reach your arms over your head, Utkatasana. Finding a slight arch in your low back and then peel hip points off your thighs. So finding support in your lower back when it's an extension. Exhale, hinge forward, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, gaze forward. Exhale, walk to the front of your mat, downward facing dog. Separate your feet hip distance apart. Press down with your hands and isometrically twist your hands apart as if you were twisting your thumbs towards your first fingers. Inhale, round as if you're coming into cat, shift forward into plank. Exhale, scoop your lower belly and round back into downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward, plank. Exhale, scoop your lower belly, round back, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward, plank, round forward. Drop your knees to the floor. Push down through your hands. As you exhale, drop your chest towards the floor and squeeze your shoulder blades together. Inhale, push through your hands and round your upper back. Exhale, drop the chest towards the floor, shoulder blades come towards the spine. Exhale, push and round through your spine. One more time. Inhale, shift chest towards the floor, shoulder blades towards the spine. Exhale, push and round. Tuck your toes under. Hover your knees off the floor about an inch. Gaze forward. Exhale, right knee to right shoulder. Shift back. Exhale, left knee, left shoulder. Shift back. Right knee, right shoulder. Shift back. Left knee, left shoulder. Lift back. Drop the knees to the floor. Walk them back slightly. Shift the shoulders forward above your wrist. Point the elbows straight back. Reach the chest forward. Exhale, push up. Inhale, push. Two more. Down. Push. Shoulder blades drawing down your back towards your spine. It's time to lower all the way down to the floor. Come up onto your elbows. Spread your hands. Push feet down. Thighs down. Peel the lower belly off the floor. Reach your chest towards your chin. Pull your elbows towards your hips. Lift. Make one fist. Tuck your toes under. Elbow plank. And then walk your feet closer as you come to elbow dog. Breathe. So you can stay here. Or inhale, look forward, and take your chin to touch your knuckles. Exhale, push back. Look at your toes. Two more times. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, push back, toes. One more time forward. Exhale, back toes. Walk your left hand up, right hand up, down dog. Breathe. Press down through your hands. Isometrically twist thumbs towards fingers. Feeling that stabilize the shoulder joint. Walk your hands to the back of your mat, coming back into the forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins, reach head, chest forward, hips back. Exhale, scoop your lower belly to round forward into a forward fold. Inhale, reach up, stretch up, arms over your head, gaze up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Either feet hip distance apart or toes touch, outer edges of your feet parallel. Inhale, sit back, Utkatasana chair pose. Peel your belly off your thighs, hip points off your thighs. Inhale, lift your arms, bring them behind your head. As you inhale, press your head into your hands, gaze up. As you exhale, round, take your elbows in. Inhale, push up, keep the front of your belly engaged. Exhale, round. One more time. Exhale, round, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, walk to the front of your mat, down dog. Separate your feet about hip distance apart. Come up onto your toes. Exhale, bend your knees, push your hips back. Inhale, shift forward plank. Exhale, bend your knees, shift back. Inhale, shift forward plank. One more time, exhale, bend your knees, shift your hips back. Inhale, shift forward plank, hold. Press down. Just like we did in tabletop, so you can go to tabletop. Allow your chest to move towards the floor so shoulder blades come together, and then push away. So we want to feel that sense of the strength that we get from each time we push away. Last time, push. Drop your knees to the floor. Lift your right leg up and back. So balancing table. Turn your right thigh towards your left thigh. So keep your hips squared towards the floor. Point the elbows straight back. Inhale here. As you exhale, round crunch, knee to nose. Inhale, reach the left back. Keep the hips squared. Elbows reach back as chest reaches towards the front of your mat. Inhale, up. Exhale, crunch round. Inhale, reach. Exhale, reach chest forward, elbows back. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Release. Take your left leg back. Roll the inner left thigh up towards the sky. Square the hips towards the floor. Press down. Inhale. As you exhale, push with the hands, knee to nose. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, elbows reach back as chest reaches towards the front of the mat. Inhale up. Exhale, round. Inhale, reach. Exhale, shift forward. Inhale. Exhale, round. Try to reach the elbows back instead of foot out. Come up. Knees to the floor. Lower down. All the way to the floor. Point the toes back. Elbows underneath the shoulders. Spread the fingers. Feet down. Hips down. Belly off the floor. Pull the elbows back as you lift your head and chest. Breathe. Exhale, release. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders, press up tabletop. Tuck the toes under, lift up and back, downward facing dog. Roll your elbows towards your toes. Lift your hips higher. You can stay here, or next challenge, lower both elbows to the floor. Inhale, press up. Exhale, elbows draw in as you lower down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. One more time. Exhale, elbows in, press them down. Lift up. Down dog. Breathe. So we're stabilizing, strengthening all those joints that are closest to our core. Inhale, come up onto your toes, gaze forward. Bend your knees and step or hop to the front of your mat, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins, reach head, chest forward, hips back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reach up, stretch up, arms over your head, gaze up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Slow down the breath, close the eyes. See if you can find that balanced breath again. Slowly open your eyes, hands to your hips. Shift your weight onto your right foot and bend your left knee forward. Slight bend of your right knee, so you're almost in a balancing chair pose. Cross, left leg over right, and instead of taking the foot behind, instead press the outer edge of your foot into your shin. Squeeze your inner thighs together, arms out to the side, right arm under left. Fingertips into the palm of your hands. Lift the elbows, shoulder height, draw them forward. Inhale. As you exhale, as if you're rolling up and over a beach ball. Draw down. Maybe elbows touch knees. Press knees together. Press foot into calf. Squeeze inner thighs together. Keep your knee and your elbow touching and lift back up. Release. Arms up. Bend the knees, exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, legs straight, reach back, hips back, chest forward. Scoop your lower belly round into forward fold. Inhale, reach up, stretch up, arms over your head, gaze up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Breathe. Hands to your hips. And hands on hips are to remind us to keep everything stable. And weight to your left foot. Take your right knee forward. And do the pelvis move. Find that balance. Slight bend of your left knee. Cross. Right thigh over left. Press. Foot into your outer shin. Squeeze knees together. Thighs. Foot calf, left arm under right. Fingertips into the palm of your hand. Lift elbows, shoulder height, draw them forward. And then as you exhale, as if you're rounding up and over a beach ball. Touch knee to elbows if they can. Breathe. So finding that focus, that balance, stability within balance. Keep knee and elbow together, lift up. Release. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bend the knees, hinge forward, scoop your lower belly as you flex forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands plant. Step or hop. Chaturanga, back of the mat. Lower down. Inhale, scoot forward and up dog or cobra. Exhale, press back, down dog. Press down with the hands. Twist thumbs towards pinky fingers. Lift way up onto the toes. Feet hip distance apart. As you exhale, bend the knees, keep the hips high, belly towards thigh. Shift forward, touch right elbow to right shoulder. Shift back to that squat at the back of the mat. And inhale, shift forward, knee to shoulder. Again. Shift forward, knee to elbow. Step your right foot outside of your right hand. Drop your left knee to the ground. Point the toes back. Look down at your right foot. Press the ball mount of your big toe into the floor strongly. So instead of pointing the toes out, keep it pointing straight forward. So press through the ball mount of your big toe. And then as if you were going to drag the big toe towards your heel. So pull the big toe back. Notice what you feel on your inner thigh. And start to squeeze your knee into your shoulder. Press the front of the left foot into the floor, sink deeper into the front hip crease. Keep pushing knee into your outer shoulder. So keep that awareness of resistance in. So you really feel that knee pressing into your shoulder. An option to stay here or come down to elbows. Keep the knee hugging in. Keep pressing through the ball mount of your big toe, dragging it towards your inner heel. So ideally, you should feel your inner thighs. And don't, but we want to feel the strength in the inner thighs, keeping the knee in. Come back onto your hands. Tuck the back toe under. Walk the right foot in just slightly. Lift the back knee. Step the left foot up just slightly, shifting into pyramid pose, Parshvottanasana, Bakasana. Hand on the outside of your right foot, lift up halfway. Press your feet down, and as if you were trying to glide them or push them towards each other. So right foot is drawing back as left foot pushes forward. And imagine you could touch your inner left thigh to your inner right thigh. Keep that awareness, and as you exhale, fold deeper. Allow your head to fall towards the floor. Take 3 deep breaths, each exhalation scooping your lower belly towards your spine and then up towards the ribs. Keep the legs strong. Inhale, halfway lift. Bend your right knee, hands shoulder width apart. Step to the back of your mat, plank pulse. Shift forward, lower down chaturanga or knees chest chin. Inhale, scoop forward and up, up dog, cobra. Exhale, scoop your lower belly to press back to downward facing dog. Feet hip distance apart. Come up onto your toes. Bend your knees towards your chest, press your hips up and back. Inhale, take knee to left shoulder. Press back into that down dog squat. And shift forward, knee to shoulder. Press back. Knee to shoulder, step left foot outside of left hand. Drop right knee to the ground. Toes point back, press down, sink deep. Left toes point straight forward. Press down through the ball mount of your big toe. Drag your big toe towards your inner heel. Feel that, bring the knee onto your shoulder. Keep pressing knee into shoulder. So find that awareness of your inner thigh. And take your left sit bone towards your right inner thigh. So squaring your hips. And then lower down onto your elbows. Keep pressing through the ball mount of the big toe, dragging it back. Keep reaching left sit bone towards inner right thigh. Stay engaged, stay aware. Sometimes when we drop our head, we lose that awareness of our core. Both hands to the floor. Lift back up. Tuck the right toes under. Lift the knee. Walk the left foot in just slightly. And step right foot up about a footprint as you shift to Parshvanasana. Inhale, lift up halfway. Press your feet down, and as if you could drag them towards each other. So left foot draws back as right foot pushes forward. Inhale here. Exhale, scoop your lower belly round forward, taking your head towards your shin. Keep breathing. Keep the legs strong, feet pressing down, pushing towards each other. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands to the floor. Step back plank. Move through vinyasa. You always have that opportunity or option to go straight to downward facing dog. And breathe. See if you can find balance in your breath. So if you find balance between the amount of weight on your hands and your feet. So the hands press down and twist out. The front of your thighs are strong and push back. Come up onto your toes, gaze between your thumbs. As you exhale, come back into that down dog squat. As you inhale, step your right foot outside of your right hand. Going straight into that low lizard lunge, high lizard lunge. Press your knee into your shoulder. Shoulder into your knee, so find the inner thigh line, and then bring your right hand to your hip. Keep your left hand on the floor. As you exhale, take your left knee, touch your right ankle. Inhale, take it back. Exhale, knee to ankle. Take it back. Exhale, knee to ankle, hold. Step back, twist open to the right, gaze up towards your right thumb. Walk your right foot in and come back, Parshvanasana. Head towards shin. Press the feet down, firm the thighs, lift up halfway, hands to the hips, come all the way up. Square the hips forward. Inhale, lift your chest. As you exhale, scoop, push the hip back, fold forward halfway. Inhale, lift up. Keep pulling the right hip crease back, halfway forward. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold halfway. Hold. Arms reach back, palms up or out to the side. Makes it a little harder. Or forward. Exhale, fold. Step to the front of your mat. Toes point out, heels in. Sit down, Malasana. Reach the arms forward. Hips reach back. Pause. Hands to your heart. Roll back onto your spine and roll forward. Roll back. Roll forward. Roll back. Navasana, boat pose, shins parallel to the floor. Arms reach forward. Straighten the legs. Or not. Bend. Straighten the legs. Bend. One more time, straighten, hold. Grab behind the knees, roll back. Roll up, Malasana. Hands to the floor, either step to the back of the mat or hop, chaturanga. Up dog, down dog. Feet hip distance apart. Come up onto your toes. Bend your knees, press your hips back and high. Step left foot outside of left hand. Keep right hand on the ground, left hand to your hip. Bend right knee to left ankle, exhale. Inhale, step it back. Exhale, knee to chin. Step it back. Step it forward, hold. Step it back. Exhale, twist open to the left. Walk the left foot in slightly as you bring the hand to the floor. Parshvottanasana, head towards shin. Press feet down, squeeze thighs together. Lift up halfway. Hands to your hips. Lift up all the way. Arms come up and over your head. Shift the hips forward. Exhale, hands to your hips, fold forward halfway. Inhale, half, all the way up. Exhale, fold halfway. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, fold forward halfway, hold. Push the feet towards each other. Square the hips. Arms can come back, out to the side, or forward. So forward is the hardest. Back is the easiest. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step right foot forward. Sit back. Malasana. Roll the hips back on your spine. Roll up. Roll back. Roll up. One more time this time. Come up into Navasana. Shins parallel to the floor. Release the knees. As you inhale, come back, Ardha Navasana. As you exhale, crunch up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Hands behind the knees. Roll back. Roll up to Malasana. Hands to the floor. Hop your heels together. Hands are shoulder width apart. You're on your toes. As you inhale, lift your knees up towards your shoulders, lift your hips. As you inhale, drop. As you exhale, push down, round knees to shoulders. Inhale, lift head and chest. Exhale one more time, lift up, hold. Squeeze the knees towards the shoulders and look forward. Exhale, either step or hop to the back of the mat, either vinyasa or straightward downward facing dog. Slow down your breath. Try to find the balance in the breath. Knees to the floor. Point the toes back. Drop your hips towards the heels, forehead to the floor, and take a break in child's pose. Finding that samavriti, equal parts breath. Balancing inhalation to the length of the exhalation. Letting go of any tension or gripping you might find as we prepare for our final vinyasa. Reach the hands forward. Elbows come off the floor, spread the fingers. Inhale, shift forward to tabletop. Tuck your toes under, press your hips up and back into downward facing dog. Feet hip distance apart. Lift up onto your toes. Come back into that down dog squat. So hips, knees bend, hips press up and back. Exhale, step right foot outside of right hand. Come on to your left hand, right hand to your hip. This time, this is fun. Bring left knee to right shin and then kick it through and sit down. Yeah, it's fun. Foot is about fist distance away from your inner thigh. Bend your right knee and grab the outer edges of your right foot, or left foot, sorry. Straighten the leg as you fold forward. Start to push your right knee into your right shoulder. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you wrap right bicep in front of right shin and take left hand behind the hip and hold. Reach your head and chest towards your left foot. Each exhalation, scooping your lower belly, rounding, flexing forward. Release. Step left foot back into yogi squat. Bakasana. Roll back once. Roll up, Navasana. Roll back once. Roll up, Malasana. Hands shoulder width apart. Spread your fingers wide, come up onto your toes, and jump your hands together. So Bakasana, crane pose. Press your hands down and isometrically twist them out. That's gonna stabilize the shoulders. Push the hips up and start to squeeze the knees towards the shoulder. Scoop your lower belly towards your ribs as you round your back. Shift shins towards elbows or upper arms. And think of taking one foot up, maybe the other foot up. Breathe. Either step or hop, back of the mat. Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Breathe. One more side. Feet hip distance apart. Lift up onto the toes. Down dog squat, bend the knees forward, lift the hips. Step, left foot outside of right. Right hand stays down, left hand to your hip. Take your knee towards your right, or right knee towards your left, and then shoot it through. and sit down. Left foot a fist distance away from your right thigh. Bend your right knee, grab your right foot. Lift, push your belly towards your thigh, lift your chest, and then start to straighten your leg to help you fold forward. You can stay here or wrap. Left bicep around left shin, right hand grabs behind. Breathe. Each exhalation, finding that scoop of your lower belly. Slowing down the breath. Release. And as gracefully as you can, come into Malasana. So option to do what we did the last time. The other option is to, when you roll up, instead of going to Malasana, go straight to Bakasana. Fun times. All right, arms reach forward. Exhale, roll back once. Roll up Navasana. So wake up the core, get it ready to do what it's gonna do. Bend the knees, roll back. Roll up to Malasana and then Bakasana, or roll straight to Bakasana. Hold. And when you are ready, take your final vinyasa. Lower the knees to the floor. Toes touch, knees wide, sit your hips back towards your heels. Child's pose, breathe. So some of the things we did today, maybe things you've never done in yoga class. Maybe they are. But the key, the goal, was to add a little chaos, a little differentiation to the norm, getting us outside of our comfort zone to do things in a different way, to see if you can find that balance within the chaos. I don't know about you, but lately there seems to be a lot of chaos in the world. And I'm oftentimes finding a really hard time finding that balance. And thank goodness for my practice of yoga. It gives me the opportunity to kind of move back within to find my core self, to find a sense of balance again. Reach the arms forward, shift forward to tabletop. Cross your ankles and sit your hips behind your heels, coming down onto the floor. Take the legs out in front of you and then shift your hips towards your heels. Heels in line with your sit bones and coming down onto your back. We've done a lot of forward folding. And do 2 back bends. First back bend is bridge pose. So hands down beside your hips, palms face down. Start to snuggle your shoulders closer to your spine. Lift your hips. And then lift your chest towards your chin as you lift your hips higher. Relax your jaw, relax your tongue. Drawing your chin towards your throat, reach to the crown of your head. Still finding hips and ribs moving in and then towards each other. To keep that awareness of the front of the core even as we extend. Allow the hips to grow heavy, lower the hips back to the floor. Relax the shoulders. Breathe, maybe windshield wipering knees side to side, or stillness, whatever feels right to you. So for your second back bend, you have the option for bridge pose again, or the option for Urdhva Dhanurasana bow pose, upward bow. So walk your feet again in line with your sit bones. If you're going into bridge pose, hands down beside your hips. If you're going into wheel, hands beside your ears, thumbs pointing down towards your shoulders, fingers pointing out, elbows point up. Either lift your hips wherever you are. And then if you're going into bridge pose, press all the way up. If you're going into wheel, come up under your head first. And press your chest towards the wall behind you as you straighten up. Take either 3 to 5 breaths. Still feeling that awareness at the front of your core in order to support the lower back. When you're ready, release down. Step your feet mat distance apart, arms wide, windshield wiper, knees side to side. Bring your feet back to sit bone distance apart. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. Use your right hand to press your right knee away from you. Try to balance the pelvis. So notice if one hip wants to shift up. Just try to keep it in neutral. Then reach your right hand between your thighs, left arm on the outside, grabbing either in front of your shin or behind your hamstring. Letting go of control of your breath, so not trying to force the exhale out. But see how you can soften into your exhalation. Releasing the tension and the gripping you feel in the hips. You can stay here, or you can opt for this to be more of a forward fold, straightening the left leg up towards the sky, and either keeping the hands on the thighs or reaching above your right shin to grab the back of your left calf. Release. Bring both feet back down to the floor. Cross left ankle over right knee. Use your left hand to press your right thigh open, left thigh open. Balance out the pelvis. And reach left hand between your thighs, right arm to the outside, either in front of your shin or behind your thigh. Soften into your breath. Soften into your body. Either remain here with right knee bent or straighten the leg up. Either keeping your hands behind your thigh or reaching your arms above your left shin to grab your right calf. Release, hugging both knees in towards your chest. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, let everything go, reaching legs long to the floor, arms down beside the body, palms face up. Finding an even amount of weight on your hips, your shoulders. Coming back into that Samavriti breath. Finding an equal length between your inhalation and your exhalation. And once you find this, begin to allow your exhalation to lengthen until it's twice as long as your inhalation. It's often during those times that we are drawn away from our core self, our core being, whether it be what's going on in our personal lives or in the world beyond our personal lives. We're drawn into the chaos, that which we have really no control over. And it's during those times that it can be most valuable to start to look within into the core, into what lies within and our strength within, to draw from that strength to become more balanced. Inviting movement back into your body. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. On your next inhalation, reach your arms over your head, reach through your heels or your toes, finding inner body length. So a nice long stretch of your core. As you exhale, roll onto your side body. Just to observe, noticing your body. Noticing your breath and the state of your mind post-practice. As we move towards that shift to going back from our practice, from our mat to life. Using your hands and your arms, slowly press yourself up to a seated position. Eyes closed. And bringing your hands to connect at heart center, feeling as your hands touch. Balanced pressure of one hand pressing into another. As you inhale, lift your heart towards your hands. As you exhale, bow into the space of your heart, acknowledging that which lies within, the true self, our core being, our sense of balance. Thank you so much for being here this morning. Thank you those in the virtual world as well. The divine in me honors the divine in you. Namaste.